What do mathematicians who study the theory of knots do? And how do they connect the theory of knots with our understanding of algebra in the broad sense in which mathematicians use that word? Welcome to my seminar talk from March 2018 at Bridgewater State University in their Math Department seminar entitled Not Your Average Algebra. Not only is the title of this talk Not Your Average Algebra, the outline of this talk will also be Not Average and Algebra. My first goal in this seminar talk is to talk briefly about what knot theory is, define some fundamental notions and ideas of what kinds of problems exist in the theory of knots and links, and introduce what it means to study knot invariance. We move from knots to averages, and talking about how the process of coloring a knot, assigning colors to the arcs in a knot diagram, can illuminate the structure in a fundamental way that knots have, and we'll discover how a particular averaging equation can help us to distinguish colorations of knots which are valid from colorations of knots which are not valid. And finally, we move from the word average to the word algebra, and think about how algebraic structures, in particular the structure that we call a quandle, not only illuminates the structure of a knot, but in fact encodes the entirety of the structure of a knot as a completely invariant algebraic structure. And we'll see how we can derive from the fundamental quandle of a knot other algebraic invariants that are very powerful, though not necessarily all powerful, in distinguishing among knots. You can see this talk as well as other resources from the Knots in Algebra course that I'm teaching this semester on my website at mathematics.com/OAK. That's Open Algebra and Knots. This is the live textbook website for Math 596, so it's a work in progress. By the time the semester is over, maybe it'll be in sort of a final form, but I wouldn't count on it. It's got tons of resources, videos, explanations, problems that we've been working on as a class, student blogs, and so forth.